All right, gang, a very short and simple intro today. I just want to talk a little bit about what we'll be doing in the video at a very high level. So for those of you who don't know, the most recently elected mayor in Hypixel Skyblock is Derpy. Derpy offers tons of good perks. The main one that people focus on is the 1.5 times EXP perk. That's what we'll be focusing on in this video, so we'll be going for some of the harder to gain experience in things like Alchemy. Alchemy is a very useful skill that boosts the duration of various different potions, and in doing so allows you to spend less bits and other resources over time on additional potions. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy. All right, I feel like this is a pretty significant moment in any account. By the way, if you can't see behind me, Katie's running around playing with my hats and looking out the window. Real cute. But yeah, so this is pretty exciting. The large enchanted combat sack has been unlocked and has been crafted. We are now capable of storing so many things that we couldn't store before. So many things. I mean, literally everything in here. A bunch of the stuff in here. I'm so excited. I'm gonna take this out. Take these out. And this is empty, but take these out. You know, take these out. And all of that, bam, gone. No longer have to use these as combat item storages. We'll find another use for them. These ender pearls I'm not compacting because I'm going to use them to create warp scrolls. But yeah, holy shit, the quality of life that comes from that is next level. And there's so many things that can be stored in there too. I mean, like absolute ender pearls, eyes of ender, etc. So nice. Yo, okay, here's the big one, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And then, oh yeah, my enchanted string is now in my large enchanted combat sack. God, I love that. But yeah, we now can make the large enchanted agronomy sack. That's fucking amazing. There are just like so many things that I can put in here now. I mean, it just empties my inventory. It empties my 2 entire ender chests, like of this, not that. This, all of this. Everything in here, all of it can fucking go into this damn sack. That is so nice. I have been dealing with inventory and ender storage management for so long because I didn't have this thing. And now I do. I'm a new man. All right, so 2 things to update here real quick. So this is a big one, pretty sweet. Tammy here has a green bandana for us, so we will be getting that soon. We're gonna hold on to it, wait to put it on our elephant. If we get a second one, then I'll put it on like a slug or a bee. But at least this one, just in case we get screwed over and don't get another bandana, I'm gonna hold this one for the elephant. But the more exciting part, over to here, claim this silver medal. We now have 4 silver medals. Come over here to the medal trade. Use that up for 1 gold. Take these Jacob's tickets that I have, bam, and get ourselves a mathematical hoe blueprint. This is gonna turn into a Turing sugarcane hoe. I'm gonna bless it, and I'm gonna go fucking nuts with it. But first, we're gonna focus just a little bit more on farming because we want to get, or rather farming things other than sugar, because we want to get enough silver medals for a basket of seeds and a hoe of greatest tilling to make things way less obnoxious. So it is the morning of the 3rd for this clip, which means that we've got about 2.5 days of derpy left, just a little bit more. And we've made some fantastic progress in farming. We haven't touched alchemy yet, obviously, but we're stacking up loads of sugar. We've got the Turing sugarcane hoe. We've already harvested about 650k. A lot of that has gone to visitors, but we haven't even begun to do the true stacking up. So looking forward to that. But our farming is already at 31. We have full melon, our bustling farmer's boots, and then a crappie helmet. We're working on getting these up to crappie and then eventually this too. And we need about 50 more copper or like 1 more decent visitor to be able to get our lotus cloak to finish that out. We also now have a basket of seeds and a hoe of greatest tilling. So I am going to take our pre-plant set up here, and I am going to till it and plant it and turn it into some good old carrots. But yeah, the progress has been absolutely fucking nuts, honestly. Like, the 1.5 times XP goes so much further than it seems, especially when you're doing things like visitors that give big chunks of XP and like pests as well. So this has been like pretty fast, a good bit faster than I thought it would be. The only obnoxious part is the double HP pests, but that's something that you just kind of get used to. Okay, whatever, pests take slightly longer to catch them before we'll live. Whoa. This is actually so early on to get one of these, a squeaky mouse mat. This is super useful. Wait, like, actually, this is kind of crazy. I did not expect to get one of these. I mean, this is like my 3rd field mouse? Holy shit. That was my third one. Yeah. Wow. Okay, and the drop rate on one of those is 0.5%. So holy shit. That is awesome. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, you can just like set your yaw pitch on this thing by clicking on it, or right-clicking on it, fill it out, and then when you click it, it snaps you to the yaw pitch that you have filled out in there. So it's just really good if you like stop to pest farm and then you want to start back in like on the row that you were at, as opposed to starting at the beginning and trying to fly over to keep your angle or anything like that. You can just bam, slap right to it. Oh, that's QOL, baby. Yo, okay, so it's been a bit since I recorded, so I want to update on a couple of milestones. We are 3 out of 4 crappie with our farmer boots and our melon boots, and we are very close to being able to make our melon boots into crappie boots as well. Even though we're going to be using ranchers for quite a while, I'm still going to upgrade the boots as they come specifically for museum purposes, honestly, more than anything else. It would bother me very much if I couldn't put things in the museum, because that's kind of like my shtick, so. But anyway, here for a much more exciting update, if we type in a recipe rancher, come here, bada boom. We can now use our rancher's boots. For those who are not familiar, here's what rancher's boots do, right? So you can left click and you can set a maximum amount of speed such that you don't go any faster than the maximum amount that's set. And if you look, Skyhandy is nice enough to set optimal speeds here. And if you actually go into Skyhandy and type in /Skyhandy speed and then go to optimal speed, see here where it says custom speed, you can actually change this number, such that when you're editing in here, this will change and like show up to whatever it was before. You can also click on it to have it fill in what you want it to be in there. So for us doing wheat, we're going to want 93. So we're going to set that. And now if you see, our maximum speed is now set to 93. Now this does not raise your speed. So if you're below 93 speed, which I don't even know if that's possible, I'm pretty sure it's not because your base speed is 100. So if you're below, you know, whatever the speed that you've set it to is, let's say 300, you won't go any faster, but it will decrease your maximum speed. And now, as you can see, we can actually move efficiently through these gardens, or these farms. And so what we're probably going to do next is come over here. And this is one of the things that's slowing down the sort of one plot garden a lot currently. If you look here, this right here, when you get to the end of the row, you kind of have this part where for the entirety of right here, you're moving forward, and at 93 speed, you're moving forward quite slowly. This actually needs to be Depth Strider 3. But anyway, you're moving forward at a slow enough pace that it drops your blocks per second by a good bit. And so what we're probably going to do is we're going to place a snow layer and a trapdoor here, and a snow layer and a trapdoor here, replace some blocks to change these from being water source blocks, and then once we, I think, remove the trapdoor, something like that, I'll look up what the exact mechanics are, but the snow layer holds it back so that it doesn't appear in this area, which will allow us to kind of zip forward a little bit. And then the other thing about that too is that's usually better if you have like lower depth strider on your boots. So what we might do is set our speed to 93 in the roundabout way, which is essentially using depth strider 1 and then something closer to like 120 or 130 speed. We'll figure out the exact calculations in a bit, so that when you go through this part right here, you actually move faster, because you want to minimize the amount of time you spend transitioning. The other option is essentially to make like a step up farm. My hat always falls off mid-recording. There's like the option to make like essentially what they call a step up farm, or what I call that, where you walk forward, and as you walk forward, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crops on the steps up, and as you go up, you hit crops. And so we'll probably build something to that extent here pretty soon. But for now, we've got a medium efficiency single plot farm, and I am more than content with that while we work on getting our crappie grinded out. Other than that, we're going to finish the crappie boots, and then it's going to be full send on some sugarcane. We'll probably worry about squash after alchemy, because squash it'd be nice to have so we could start getting some fermentos when it comes to making, or to farming sugarcane. So there's a chance that what I'll do is I'll make like a single piece of squash if one of them looks particularly simple to craft. But in all likelihood, we'll probably just use 3/4 crappie and rancher's boots to farm our sugarcane. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan for now. I don't see much else happening in the future. There's really been a soul-minded focus on farming and alchemy in pretty much the entirety of the episode, and I don't see that changing at least until Derpy is over. So yeah, we'll see where things go from here. All right, good morning, everybody. Oh, hold on. All right, good morning, everybody. So we've made some pretty significant gains on stream yesterday, but also a pretty big blunder. This is highly unfortunate. So I made 3/4 crappie, and I kept one piece of melon so that I could keep farming for the rest of the crappies that I needed to make the crappie boots. It was not until after I had crafted, a little pun there, definitely intended. It wasn't until after I had crafted these 3 pieces that I was informed by I'm a Squid Kid, so shout out if you're watching this. I appreciate you lurking in my stream and letting me know. That if you combine the 2 armor pieces, it essentially doesn't work. Or for the most part, it seems like it doesn't work. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but for me, I was getting no crappies for a really long time, and then I took them off and made a couple pieces of melon, and now suddenly I'm getting crappies again. But I spent a lot of time farming without getting any crappies, thinking like, damn, I've never been this unlucky before. But yeah, as you can see, now I'm getting them, so that's good. We're going to finish off that last piece of crappie and then just stay in a full crappie set. Until we have enough squash for pretty much everything we need. We're not going to go for crappie talisman, squash talisman, or fermento talisman, like whatever the upgrade line is, until we get full fermento armor, because that's just going to definitely be the most efficient way to do that. You need so many crappies to even get the line started. So definitely not going to be doing that right now. We also want to work towards a garden sack, because the QOL from that is going to be really nice. Not having all of the bait in my inventory and being able to store Jacob's tickets and stuff like that will be really useful too. So there's still a lot of farming gains left to be done, but we're making pretty good progress. We just hit farming 36, which is awesome. And then if we want to just come in here, Derpy is active for about 19 more hours, and so for the last probably 12 hours is when we'll do our alchemy. So I'm going to wrap up a little bit more farming here, get some more farming fortune in the bag, and then really set in on that sugar for the rest of the day. I have to work, so, I'll be taking meetings and working on some stuff while I'm just in the background sort of farming cane rows and, rinse and repeat, but that's just kind of the life of an early game Ironman is what I've come to find out. This Derpy came around a little earlier than is necessarily super great for the account. I think if we were more mid-game, or at least a little bit more progressed than we are, we get a bit more benefit out of Derpy by being able to actually be prepared, like having access to the glaciate tunnels for some absolutely insane pet XP. Things like that would have been really nice. But for now, I will definitely settle for the absolutely huge boost that we've gotten to farming. And then, yeah, we've also got our Rancher's Boots. I think I already made a clip about this, probably in the last one, but having the Rancher's Boots is really nice. Obviously, I'm not using them right now because I want the crappies. But it is super useful for farming basically everything, and we'll be camping those all the way until we get fermento boots and full mega farms. Now, the other thing is, I know there's a lot of people watching this video and they're like, holy shit, dude, your farms suck. Yeah, completely true. Not building new farms anymore during Derpy. Already wasted enough time doing that. These are mildly efficient farms. This one's usually closer to like 18 to 18.5 blocks per second, but I've been very lazy doing a poor job of my transitions and not using my Rancher's Boots. So I'm not too worried about the efficiency of this one. It was unfortunate to use like the super shitty pumpkin farm, the default one, but I'm not really going to be doing that again, because pretty shortly here after Derpy we'll have enough compost saved up, or enough crops saved up to make the compost at the very least for what we're missing, to unlock a full 5x1 row, and that will really be when the farming can start. All right, I'm thinking this is going to be the final clip of the episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it thoroughly so far. This has been a huge dump of progress. What we're going to be doing here is basically the fruits of all of our labor. I'd like to offer a quick apology to those who suggested that I do an auto brewing setup, because while you are incredibly correct in everything that you've said, I am simply too lazy to justify doing it. And so I will not be doing an auto brewing setup. What I will instead be doing is realizing that I don't actually have that much sugarcane. And so it's not really worth my time to go ahead and build an auto brewing setup until I actually go for Alchemy 50. But for now, this is what we managed to pull out. It's not bad at all. I mean, like, especially for an early game Ironman, this is literally our first time going into the garden. First time dealing with a lot of stuff. Got all the way to crappie, and then, working on squash armor. We have done so much in this episode, specifically farming related stuff, and I am quite proud of that. So regardless of the fact that we probably could have done better, been more efficient here or there, I think that we did a really good job setting everything up, from the build to the minions to the alchemy setup, everything. I mean, I am proud of the hard work that we put in to make this an effective Derpy on an early game Ironman, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm just going to kind of yap while we do this little bit of alchemy and talk a little bit about my future plans for the Ironman and the things that I'm looking forward to the most. So I think I'm going to make it known now Next episode will be a Rift episode. If you don't like the Rift, my sincere apologies, but I absolutely love the Rift, and therefore will be making a supercut of all the various different Rift stuff that I am going to be doing. I hope that those of you who enjoy the Rift enjoy it, and those of you who don't may actually gain something out of it in some better understanding of some of the mechanics or some of the various different things that people don't really understand, like, you know, how do I speedrun through the Mirrorverse? How do I, you know, get the vampiric time charm more easily? How do I, you know, all these different things that kind of come up. The only thing that you're not going to get any improvement from me out of is going to be parkour. I am like the world's worst parkour player. It's like hilarious how bad I am at doing parkour in Minecraft, period. Like pretty much in any game, like anything kind of agility, dexterity related has never been my thing, because it always tends to be like very reaction time oriented, very based around like judging distances and stuff, and that is not my shtick. So that's going to be an interesting one to go through, and I will certainly be doing a healthy amount of making fun of myself for just how poorly some of that parkour is going to go. You guys have never seen a man pay motes for the photon pathway quicker than me, dude. I am completely and utterly ashamed to say that I have paid for it before, and I will likely pay for it again. I'm just so bad at parkour, and more importantly, I don't like doing parkour. And I feel like when you play video games, you should do things that you like. So when it comes to the ability to skip it, like it's basically, oh, do you want to do like a whole bunch of, you know, parkour, or would you rather spend the time that you would dying to parkour over and over and over again doing something, anything else to make moats? I would prefer to do that. So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe it has been long enough since my first foray into the Rift that I'm just simply better at Minecraft than I used to be, which is true. Who knows? I might actually be to a point where it's like, oh, actually Nitrix knows what he's doing, and he's not a huge fucking ding-dong anymore. But only time will tell with things like that. So I think it'll be fun to get a big Rift supercut going, and I'm thoroughly excited to see how a video like that might turn out. Don't be surprised if, you know, from the date of this release, which is May 5th, if it takes a while for said Rift video to come out, maybe even like, you know, 6 days plus, because there's going to be quite a lot of content that will go into it, and then also quite a bit of just like straight up time that it takes to do that. And the length of the episode should hopefully be above average too. I have a lot of fun when I do Rift stuff, so it's really easy for me to just like yap away about it and make for some entertaining content. For those of you guys who don't usually tune in, we have a live stream on Twitch that I don't know why I said we. I have a live stream on Twitch. I also live stream on YouTube, but currently my CPU is fried. Not completely, but it is absolutely cooking itself, and so I'm in need of a new PC, but new CPU in the short term. And so while that's the case, I'm not really live streaming on YouTube, so my apologies to those of you who are looking forward to YouTube live streams. But if you're interested, you can absolutely check out the description or any of the descriptions of the previous videos, and you will find my Twitch link. Or you can check me out at Nitrix Gaming MC on Twitch. Yeah, okay, there's that whole spiel about Twitch. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about here, so what I'm probably going to do is shut off the camera and just do like a little time lapse of me finishing off the various different ingredients that I have here. We'll come back, we'll see just how far into Alchemy we could get, and that'll be that. Alright, so I may have lied about the time lapse, but I didn't lie about Alchemy levels. Bada boom, Alchemy 30. This is where we're going to stop our grind. We used about 80 something enchanted sugar canes, so pretty good. I am most likely just going to go back to doing sugar and then do some more alchemy in the final hours of Derpy, but I really want to get this video out to you guys so you can see all the progress that we've made. It's been pretty substantial. So yeah, don't be surprised if there's like a little update clip after this, perhaps reviewing some farming gains, or maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, this has been pretty sweet. Getting Alchemy 30 is going to be really nice for the God Pot durations, because those have been running out pretty fast. So very pleased about that. I think that's everything. So yeah, thanks so much for watching me as I brewed these potions. All right, we're going to do a little final outro video here, show off the skill progression. So we are now at Farming 36 and Alchemy 30. With 24 combat, 24 fishing. Wow, it's actually kind of funny to have the same combat and fishing. 32 mining. What is that? Fucking 18, 17 foraging. Yikes. 56 enchanting, 27 carpentry, 20 rune crafting, and was that 46 taming? So we've been making some pretty good progress this Derpy. I think everything, all things considered, went really well. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching as we made these huge gains, even though, you know, they felt kind of small because it was sort of each clip to clip bit. These Derpy gains have been enormous. So it has been Nice. As always, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys next time.